Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Selamat datang ke channel saya, Cikgu Yati Channel. Okey. Haikal, mic off. Okey, kita sambung. Okey, selamat datang Haikal Rashid. Okey, hari ini kita akan bersiaran di bawah channel Cikgu Yati Channel dan tajuk hari ini ada tajuk yang berikutnya, Accounting Cycle. Jadi kita akan teruskan dengan General Ledger and Posting to Trial Balance. Okey, saya tanpa membuang masa, saya menjemput saudara Takif untuk bacakan doa. Silakan.
A'udzubillahi Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Allahumma ftah alaina hikmataka wanshur alaina min khaza'ini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Okey, kita nak mulakan kelas. Okey, jadi semua boleh off. Haikal off mic, unmute. Okey, kita nak mula ya. So, are you ready semua? Okey, tajuk hari ni adalah continuous from journal that you have prepared before. So, kita sambung hari ni. Accounting cycle, tapi the part mana? Posting to general ledger. Okey, semua dah ready? Kita sambung. Ni petang kan? Okay, this is the topic. Topic 3, accounting cycle. Kita continue from previous YouTube sebelum ni. Okay, this is the step. Before this, kita ada buat transaction analysis. Kita nak tahu apa dalam transaction tu. Is there any asset, liabilities or owner equity? After that, kita record in the first book. First book tu kita panggil journal records. Kita dah record journal record. And selepas tu kita post to ledger. Sebelum ni I have taught you how to post to subsidiary ledger. Tapi kali ini kita nak post to general ledger, and step yang keempat ialah kita record in trial balance. So dua topik that I want to focus for today ialah post to general ledger and record in the trial balance ataupun prepare trial balance. Okay, kita tengok post to ledger. So before this, saya ada explain about ledger. So from the journal, each account will be transferred to the ledger. Ingat lagi, from the first book, journal, kita mesti transfer to the ledger. Before this, I taught you how to transfer from the journal to subsidiary ledger. Today, I just want to focus dekat mana? General ledger. Ataupun kita bahasa Melayunya ledger am. Okay, a ledger is a group of accounts maintained systematically by a business. Dia record secara systematic. Systematic tu that means we have to record in order. And then we have to record based on accounting standard. Okay, the original format of a ledger is in the form of a T account. So I just want to focus T account. Dia ada dua ya, satu in terms of column and another one T account. So I just want to focus dalam bentuk T account. All ledgers accounts must be balanced before a trial balance is prepared. So today I just want to teach you how to record the accounts from journal, and then you have to balance the account. You must calculate balance carry forward. Macam mana kiranya, nanti I will show you how to calculate balance from the accounts. Okay, a ledger's accounts is balanced by comparing the total debit amount with the total credit amount. And then you determine which amount is larger. Nanti saya ajar, kita compare the debit balance dengan the credit balance. So kita ambil the biggest balance and then kita akan dapat the missing figure. Kita kena imbang for debit and credit side. Okay, if total debit amounts is greater than total credit amount, the account has a debit balance. Okay, this one normally untuk asset, expenses and also the drawing. Arti biasanya they have a debit balance. Kenapa they have a debit balance? Because a debit amount ataupun total debit side is greater than total credit side. If okay, then the last one, if total credit amount is greater than total debit amount, the account has a credit balance. Okay, this account biasanya kita ada belajar the accounting equation topic 2 and also double entry system. Kalau credit side is increase biasanya untuk revenue, liabilities and also capital. So dia akan besar in the credit side. So biasanya this account, liabilities, revenues and capital, they have a credit balance. Okay, this is the rule of debit and credit. And this is the double entry system from topic 2. Hopefully you still remember how to record the asset. For example, saya ambil satu example. Kalau asset increase, account asset increase, let's say that you purchase vehicle, so dia increase, kita record kat mana? Debit side. So bila dah ada debit side, dia punya balance at the end, mesti debit side is greater than credit side. So dia ada balance in debit side. Tu kita panggil normal balance. Kalau dia liabilities, dia increase kat mana? You have to record the increase in the credit side. Kenapa in the credit side? Because we follow the rules of double entry system. So at the end of the month atau accounting period, kita akan dapati the credit side is greater than the debit side. So ini normally kita panggil dia ada normal balance. So kita kena kira the balance at the end of the month or at the end of the accounting period. Okay, this is the ledger for T account. Before this saya dah ajar in topic 2 double entry system. So you can see this is the title. Macam mana format T account? Okay, you have the title of the account. And dia ada 3 column. The first column is the date of transaction. Lepas tu the details of transaction. The details tu they mean the account yang debit or account yang credited. And then amount. So this is the debit side. And sebelah sini pula the credit side. So sama juga date, details and RM. So ni adalah revision from topic 2 double entry system. Okay, now look at the try balance. What is the meaning of try balance? Try balance ni bahasa Melayunya imbangan duga. Dia seimbang. Debit seimbang dengan credit side. Okay. Preparation of try balance atau imbangan duga. Try balance is a list of all the general ledger account balances. Maknanya kalau ada transaction, we must record at least 2 account. That one is double entry kan? Ingat tak? Kalau ada satu transaction, kita kena cari apakah item in the transaction. Satu mesti debit and satu credit. Kenapa? We follow or we must comply with double entry system. Okay, bila by the end of the transaction, we will find out that the total on the debit sides of the try balance must be equal to the total of credit side. So try balance ni dia mengumpulkan semua accounts from transaction. Each transaction mesti ada 2 account. After that kalau ada 10 transaction, jadi 10 darab 2, 20 lah, minimum 20 account. Tapi tak juga, sometimes ada satu account tu dia melibatkan many transaction. For example, cash. Cash ada banyak transaction, so we have to prepare the account in order. Okay, nanti kita akan belajar. Try balance is prepared to confirm the balance of total debits and the total credits at the end of an accounting period. To confirm atau to verify, untuk pastikan, untuk untuk meyakinkan, verify itu untuk sahkan bahawa total debit dan total credit dia mesti sama. Kalau tak sama, maknanya something wrong with your double entry system. In conclusion, the trial balance is a summary of account balances of the ledger. Ledger ni apa? Buku. Buku ni kita untuk apa? Untuk record semua account. Semua account tu apa account tu? Assets, liabilities and owner's equity. Semua record dalam mana? General ledger. Why we have to record in the general ledger? Because we want to find out the balance of the ledger and then kita prepare trial balance. Itu step yang berikutnya, prepare trial balance. Kenapa nak prepare trial balance? Because we want to check the debit side mesti equals to the credit side. Kenapa nak check? Sebab kita nak verify, nak sahkan debit equals to credit side. That means your double entry system is correct. Okay, this is the format of preparation the trial balance. You can see the trial balance. Kalau kita nampak asset, nampak je account that relate to asset. For example, cash. Dia have the balance in the debit side. Dia ada debit side balance. Selain pada aset tu apa? Cash, bank, vehicle, equipment dan juga contohnya furniture. They have the balance in the debit side. So kita record in the debit side. Expenses also ada balance in the debit side. So kalau kita tengok ada berapa account in the debit side? 3. Example for expenses, for example ialah salaries expenses. When you close the salaries expenses, kita akan dapati the balance in the debit side. Tu automatic dia memang debit. Dan yang credit side tu, account apa yang ada credit side? Credit side balance. Credit side tu maksudnya the credit amount is greater than the debit amount. Bila dia greater than the debit amount, dia akan ada credit balance. So the balance ni kita masuk in the trial balance. So ada 3 liabilities. Example for liabilities ialah account payable, loan, capital. Okay, capital ni kategori capital pun dia credit side and the balance also in the credit side. Kenapa saya sebut balance? Sebab kita nak record in the trial balance. Balance tu apa? Balance tu ialah kita imbangkan account atau ledger untuk cari missing figure. Macam mana nak cari missing figure? I will show you later. Okay, revenue, normally we have the balance in the credit side. So 3 asset, expenses dan drawing. Drawing tu saya beritahu tu maknanya ambilan. Ini liabilities ataupun tanggungan, modal and hasil dia berada di sebelah kredit. So make sure you must follow these rules of preparation for trial balance. Kalau kamu salah masuk, you put in the credit side for asset, that means something wrong with your transaction ataupun something wrong with your double entry system. Okay, this one is the continuous from previous video atau YouTube. Sebelum ni kita dah discuss about Parade 18 Enterprise. Before ni kita dah bincang kan, Parade 18 Enterprise, we have to prepare apa? Journal. After that, we have to prepare subsidiary ledger. Now kita nak prepare the general ledger. Okay, look at the first transaction. Saya tak repeat for this transaction. I just want to focus for this column, not this one, the second one. This column represent for journal, and this column represent for the ledger or general ledger or accounts that involve. So all the accounts that involve in the transaction, kita masuk ke mana? Kita post to the general ledger. Okay, the first one, 1st of March. Before this, kita dah record dalam cash receipt journal. So you must know the double entry system. Kenapa we must know the double entry system? Because this account we must record, we must post to general ledger. Apa dia general ledger? General ledger is the accounts of assets, liabilities and owner's equity. Asset tu pecah lagi kan? Current asset, non-current asset, liabilities, non-current itu semua masuk dalam general ledger. Okay, this one, the first March. So, dia punya transaction debit bank, credit, capital. So, kita kena buka account bank in the general ledger and also we have to open capital in the general ledger. Number two, kita dah record in general journal. Before this, saya dah show you the answer in the general journal. Now kita record in the ledger. So what is the accounts involved? Debit vehicles and credit notes payable. So these accounts we must record in the general ledger. 3rd of March, so record apa? Debit purchases, credit bank. So kita kena record in the general ledger, buka account purchases and we also open bank account. 4th of March, account apa kita terlibat? Today I just want to discuss about account. Kenapa I just want to discuss about accounts? Because all the accounts must be recorded in one book. Apa buku tu? General ledger. Okay, yang ini debit account receivable. So kita akan record in the general ledger. Credit sale. And then you have to open sales account. The next one, 6th of March, we must record in the account receivable. So kita dah ada dua item in account receivable. So you must record one account only. Tapi we must list the transaction in one account. Sama juga sales, kita dah buka account sales, kita record one account, tapi we must record the transaction in one account. The next one, 11th of March, debit purchases. We have opened debit purchases just now, so we just list the transaction in one account. So namanya purchases. And we have to open account payable. And you must know that account payable that we got the amount from subsidiary ledger. So from my previous video, I have shown you how to prepare subsidiary ledger and we have to combine all the suppliers and we post to control account. That one we call account payable in the general ledger. Okay, the next one, 12th of March. So you just discussed already, we have to record in the general journal, but I just want to focus in general ledger. So we must open sales return account and account receivable. We have already account receivable, but we must record in the account receivable. The next month, the next day, 14th of March, we have to record under cash receipt journal. After that, we must post to the three accounts involved. That means cash account, sales discount, and also account receivable. You can see that from journal, we must post to the general ledger. 16th of March, we have recorded in the general journal. Now we must post to the general ledger. Debit account payable, credit, purchase, return. The next one, we have recorded all the transaction, this transaction in the cash payment journal. So the accounts that we must record in the general ledger is account payable debit. So nanti kita kena record dekat debit side lah. Credit bank. Dengan dalam account bank kita record in the credit side dan credit purchase discount. So tiga-tiga account ni we must record dalam general ledger. Kalau dah ada account, we just record in order. Kita kena record secara berturutan. 22 Mac, we have record the transaction dalam purchase journal and then we post to the general ledger. Account yang terlibat ialah purchases debit side and account payable credit side. Okay, the next one, 31st of March, we must record in the first book cash payment journal sebab kita bayar salaries. And then we post to the general ledger debit salaries. Ni pun saya dah explain. The salaries expenses is expenses. So bila expenses increase, so we must record in the debit side. Why? Because we follow the double entry system ataupun the rules of debit and credit and the credit bank. And the last one, kita dah record in the first book cash receipt journal and then we post to the ledger debit cash and sales. Tapi kita cash ni kita kena total up the amount and I will show you the answer. Okay, you are required to record the business transaction into the appropriate journal. Okay, saya dah tunjukkan from my previous video in the YouTube, so you can check the answer. The second one, post the journal entry to subsidiary ledgers of account receivable and subsidiary ledger of accounts payable. And the third one, prepare trial balance. Okay, sebelum kita prepare trial balance, we must record in the general ledger. Okay, sebenarnya kita before prepare trial balance, I will show you how to record in the general ledger. Okay, saya tunjuk kejap ya. Wait, I just want to add another item. Okay, this one kan ada nombor 3 ni. Nombor 3, post to related general ledger. Ni kita kena record sebenarnya. But before we prepare trial balance, we must show the working for the account. Okay. Okay. Kita continue with my answer. Nampak tak pembetul I have made takir? Nampak ke pembetulan? Okay, kita continue ya. Okay, now kita nak prepare post to related journal, general ledger and prepare the trial balance. Okay, next. Okay, nampak lah. Now, I will show you macam mana sales journal, kita record sales journal ni dan kita post to general ledger. Okay. Siapa buka mic tu? Off mic. Okay. Mana tadi? Kita sini kan? General ledger. Amount ni, transaction ni kita kena ambil total. At the end of the month, 31st March, kita dapat total 27,000. So kita kena record in the general ledger. What is the double entry systemnya? Debit, account receivable, credit, sales. So kita kena buka account receivable dan sales in the general ledger. So that means this transaction akan melibatkan two accounts. Apa account dia? Account receivable and sale. And this is the amount. Tengok kita postkan macam mana. Okay, kita tengoklah purchases journal. Kita ambil total. Kita tak ambil individu ya, sebab individu ni represent for subsidiary ledger. Now we want to record in the general ledger. So tak ada lagi dah nama personal for suppliers, tak ada. We just take the total of supplier. So the total for suppliers atau account payable ialah 94,225. So debit account purchases, credit accounts payable. So these two account kita kena buka ataupun kita kena record dalam mana? General ledger. Tadi kan ni general ledger. And the next one. Ni the next one kita tengok. This is cash receipt journal. Okay, tengok. We have to read the data, the transaction carefully. There are 3 transaction. Nampak tu ada 3 transaction. So every transaction dia akan melibatkan at least 2 accounts. This account is very important because we want to record in the general ledger. Before you record in the general ledger, you must know the double entry system. So number 1, debit. Okay, just read this one. Kita start with the business with 100,000. So debit bank, credit capital. So these two account, bank and capital kan kita kena record. Tapi bank kita ambil total amount nanti. Okay, so the double entry system dia mesti melibatkan 2 account, debit, bank, credit, capital. Okay, the next one. Kita buat apa? Kita receive payment from Jasni. Tapi Jasni kita record under account receivable. So apa account terlibat? Ada 3. 1, debit cash. So you have to record in. Tapi cash kita tak record secara individual. Kita ambil total. Cash dengan bank dia berbeza. Kita ambil total receipt dia nanti ya. I will show the answer. Tapi the double entry dia samalah ni. Ni debit cash tapi kita ambil total credit account receivable. Kita tak ambil just ni lagi. Kita ambil the account receivable control account. Dan we have to open another account, sales discount, debit side. So ada 3 account in one transaction. The next one, sales, kita receive cash. So dia punya double entry dia, debit, cash, credit, sale. So kita kena record 2 account ni dalam general ledger. But we must take the total of sales cash nanti. And the last one, at the end of the month, kita kena total for cash in the debit. Nampak ni, total cash for debit side ni 150,360. Ini ada 2 transaction. Satu transaction with account receivable and another one relate to sale. Tapi kita ambil total, when we open the cash account, kita ambil total amount, this one. So this one represent the debit side of cash account. And this one kita totalkan for bank. Kita record in the general ledger. Kita record in the debit side of bank. Kita tulis itu multiple account ataupun miscellaneous account. Kalau banyak lah, tapi ni satu je kan. Ni pun kalau ada 2, kita tulis one account only sebab kita ambil total. And also for sales discount, kita kena record dalam general ledger tapi kita ambil total. Tapi ni ada satu saja kan. So ketiga-tiga account, cash, bank and sales discount, we must record in the general ledger dalam total. Okay, the next one, cash payment journal. So I have told you just now, every transaction at least mesti ada minimum 2 accounts involved. The first one, kita nampak ni, kita bayar kan, purchase. So debit purchases and credit bank. So we must record in the general ledger. Tapi kita tak record bank individually. Kita record the total cash, total check payment. Tapi dia double entry macam tu lah. Maknanya bahagian cash payment, check payment is in the credit side. So nampak ni total, you must remember this total kita akan record in the credit side of bank account nanti. Okay, the second transaction, 1st of March, kita bayar to the account payable. So ada berapa accounts involved? Ada 3. First, kita debit account payable. Kedua, credit bank and credit purchase discount. So we must open purchase discount in the general ledger. Bank also kita dah ada record bank tapi kita ambil total check payment. And accounts payable kita dah gabungkan all the suppliers dan kita panggil dia account payable. And the last one, salary expenses, debit salary expenses, credit bank. So kita record dalam general ledger di sebelah debit salary expenses, debit side, dan bank credit side. Tapi kita ambil total for bank. So at the end of the month kita dapat total ni, total check payment. Total check payment ni when you open bank account kita tulis kat situ multiple account or miscellaneous account. So kita ambil tarikh akhir. Nanti I will show you how to get the balance for bank. Kenapa kita kena total? Because we want to calculate the balance of bank at the end of the month. Kenapa balance tu penting? Sebab kita nak prepare try balance. Perkataan balance tu maknanya kita kena kira semua account ada balance tak. And for purchase discount pun sama. Kita take the total at the end of the month. Nanti kita prepare the account for purchase discount in general ledger. Okay, journal. Ni journal nampak ni kan? Ada berapa account? The first transaction ada 2 account, vehicle and notes payable. Ni senang, kita nampak direct je. Debit vehicle nanti, credit notes payable. Yang kedua, sales return and account receivable. So nanti kita buka sales return, debit side untuk account and account receivable in credit side. Nampak senang kan? So yang the last one ni for under journal, debit accounts payable kita kena record dalam general ledger nanti, dan credit apa? Purchase return. So every transaction dia melibatkan minimum 2 account. Ni 2 account kita record semua dekat mana? General ledger. So dua ni dekat mana? General ledger. Okay, now we start with general ledger. Nama yang pertama I choose account receivable. Okay, kamu nampak ni saya bubuh nombor 1. Nombor 1 tu that mean berapa accounts that you must record in the trial balance. Jangan tercicir the account. So make sure you don't miss any accounts from transaction. If you miss one account from the transaction, your trial balance will not balance because trial balance represent for double entry system. Okay, this is the account receivable. I just put number 1. So this is the first account that you must record in the, atau you must prepare in the trial balance. Trial balance tu tak kisah, dia tak ikut in order. You can record bila. Okay, mula-mula kita record sales return from general journal. Mula kita record sales kan? Sales. Tapi kita ambil total sale from sales journal. And then kita ambil the details from general journal tentang sales return. And then kita terima cash from account receivable. So kita ambil from cash receipt journal. Okay, itu saja. Berapa item? 1, 2, 3 transaction. So you must balance the debit compare with the credit side. Nampak ni saya ajar kamu how to balance the account. So account receivable ni ialah asset. Asset dia ada normal balance in the debit side. So kalau kamu tengok kenapa dia debit side. Okay, you can see the debit side 27,000 is greater than the debit side ni greater than the credit side. So 10,200 ni adalah missing figure. Macam mana kita nak kira 10,200? 27,000 you minus 800 minus 15,680 minus 320 then you got the missing figure. Missing figure ni represent for balance carry forward. Ni bukan carry forward apa ni kan? Balance carry forward. So I just betulkan yang ni. So apa jawapan dia ni? Kejap ya. Ada error kat sini. So saya betulkan. Account apa tadi? Account receivable. Balance carry forward. Okay. So the missing figure ialah 10,200. So kita bawa baki ni ke bulan berikutnya. Balance carry forward ataupun baki hantar ke bawah, kita bawa ke bulan berikutnya. Dan bulan berikutnya kita panggil balance brought forward 10,200. Okay, nampak kan? Okay, now kita continue lagi. Wait. Kejap ya. Dia lari pula. Okay. So, yang ini kita kena record dalam try balance nanti. This is the amount that you must record in the try balance. Iaitu asset ada debit balance. Kenapa? The amount in the debit side is greater than the amount in the credit side. And the missing figure ni kita panggil balance carry forward, and you must carry forward to the next month 10,200. So dia ada balance debit 10,200 and kita kena record amount ni dalam try balance. Okay, the next one, accounts payable. Nampak ni? Semua detail ni kita ambil mula-mula kita purchase from supplier 94,225 total supplier ada dua, ingat lagi ada dua supplier, kita ambil total. Lepas tu kita kena tolak yang berkaitan dengan account payable, purchase return, maknanya kita return the damaged goods to the supplier. Kita ambil daripada mana? Journal. Ni maklumat ni kita ambil from previous journal. Yang ni kita tengah record general ledger. Mana kita ambil detail from the journal related journal. Okay, this one kita ambil daripada cash payment journal. So kita dah record everything about account payable in order. Kita dapat you can see the credit side 94,225 is greater than the debit side. Dia greater. So kita akan dapat the missing figure ni 41,625. Dia dipanggil balance carry forward. So balance carry forward ni kita kena bawa the next month. Kenapa kena bawa? Sebab itu that is the accounting standard yang kita have to follow the rules. So bila kita bawa the next month, dia akan menjadi baki credit. You can see account payables is liability. So normally the liabilities, they have the credit side is greater than the debit side. So kita panggil dia balance dia ialah balance credit balance. So this amount kita kena record dekat mana? Try balance. Kita nak balancekan dia punya amount kan. Okay, this is the second account. Saya kira nampak nombor 2. Okay, nombor 3, account nombor 3. Kenapa kita must write down the account? Sebab kita make sure we don't miss any account in the try balance. So this is the detail about sales. Tadi kita ambil detail credit, debit account receivable kan. Ni credit sale. So detail ni kita ambil from sales journal. We take all the sources from sales journal. And the second one kita cash sale. Mana kita ambil the detail? From cash receipt journal, and kamu dapat the amount is 134,680. And is there any transaction? No more. So bila tak ada transaction, kita must close sales account. Macam mana kita nak close? Kita imbangkan credit side 161,680 and the debit one missing figure kat sini tau. Kita imbangkan. So kita dapati this is the missing figure. Missing figure ni lah balance carry forward. Dan kita bawa ke bulan berikutnya, kita panggil dia baki hantar ke bawah dan baki bawa ke bawah. Yang ini kita kena record dalam try balance. So in the try balance, sales must record in the credit side. Biasanya revenue in the credit side. Balance dia memang credit side. So ada 3 credit side kan. Liabilities, sales and capital. So this is the third account. Make sure you calculate the accounts that involved in the transaction. Okay, this is account yang keempat, purchases. Mana kita dapat detail about purchases? The first one, we get the detail from cash payment journal. Kita tengok, kita paid cash. Ingat tak kita bayar with check for purchases, and another detail kita ambil pada mana? Purchase journal. So there are 2 transactions that relate to purchases. So bila kita tutup the account, we close the account and we find out that the debit side is greater than the credit side. So kita kena imbangkan dua-dua. So this is the missing figure. We just write down balance carry forward. So the amount is 124,225. So bila kita tutup, kita carry forward to the next month, 1st April, the balance is in the debit side, 124,225. And this amount kita mesti record in the trial balance. Tadi kan, in the trial balance. Okay, ni trial balance lah. So ni account yang keempat. The next account yang kelima. This is cash account. Untuk cash account, just now we prepared already cash receipt journal and cash payment journal. Untuk cash account, kita ambil total at the end of the month. For example, cash receipt journal. Kita ada dapat total from cash receipt journal 150,360. So ini apa ni account ni? Ini adalah multiple accounts. Campur semua ataupun miscellaneous account. So kita hanya ada one total amount, iaitu receipt only. Kita ada payment tak? Tak ada. So when we close the account, we find out that cash debit side is greater than the credit side. So kita imbangkan and you calculate the missing figure. The missing figure represent for balance carry forward. So kita bawa to the next month dan dia akan jadi balance brought forward. So the conclusion is cash have a debit balance. So in the trial balance kita kena record cash in the debit side. Dalam dia ada dua ya. Tadi saya tunjuk trial balance ada dua kolom. Satu kolom for debit and satu kolom for credit. So dalam trial balance kita record cash in the debit. So cash is asset. Asset normally they have the balance in the debit side. So ni account yang kelima. Account yang keenam, sama, you still have to do the same thing. Kita ambil the total cash receipt journal, maknanya kita receipt check. Kita check, kita ambil from the cash receipt journal. So this is the total for bank. You still remember cash receipt journal kita total at the end of the month, and we write down multiple account or miscellaneous account. The amount is 100,000. And in the credit side, payment. Ingat lagi kan, kalau increase in debit side, dia adalah debit. Kalau decrease, dia adalah credit. So this one maksudnya kita make a payment by check. Mana kita dapat this total? From cash payment. You still remember we have to total the bank column at the end of the month. So kita tulis the account multiple accounts or miscellaneous account. The total is 97,252. After that, you have to compare the total amounts in the debit side, 100,000 is greater than the debit side. The amount you must record sama 100,000 and this is the different amount. Macam mana kita dapat different amount? So I repeat, the debit side 100,000 tolak the credit side 97,252 and you got the balance for bank. And the balance we must carry forward to the next month. So the next month tu kita panggil dia debit balance. Kenapa? Sebab dia ada di bahagian debit side. So this amount kita kena record dalam trial balance. So you should know trial balance ada dua kolom, kolom debit and kolom credit. So kita kena record dalam trial balance dalam debit side. So I repeat, asset is bank represent for asset dan asset always record in the debit side in the trial balance. Okay, number 7, sales discount. Mana kita dapat the sources from cash receipt journal. Kita ambil the total amount. The total amount kita kira tadi just now 320. So we have only one transaction for sales discount kan. Kita dah ambil total. So kita dapati the debit side is greater than the credit side. So you have to calculate. So kita nak imbangkan, kita calculate the missing figure. So missing figure represent for balance carry forward. So you just post ataupun bawa carry forward brought to next month atau brought forward. So dapat balance 320. So in the trial balance, kita kena record dalam column debit. Column debit ya, sebab kita ada balance in the debit side. Sales discount ni the expenses lah. So ini adalah account yang ke-7. Account yang ke-8, purchase discount. Purchase discount kita ada one transaction, kita dapat total tu ada satu je rasanya kan. So the total from mana sources cash payment journal. So the total at the end of the month kita totalkan dia 1048 and you have only one transaction for this account. So kita balance and we find out that the credit side is greater than the debit side. So kita imbangkan, the missing figure represent for balance carry forward. So kita repeat the same thing. Kita carry forward to the next month. So dia jadi balance brought forward. So you can see that dia ada balance in the credit side. So under trial balance, kita kena record dekat kolom mana? Kolom credit. Nampaknya credit sebab kita ada credit balance for purchase discount. Okay. Sales return. Ni nombor 9. Account nombor 9. Sales return kita ada one transaction daripada mana? From general journal. Debit sales return, credit account receivable kan. Okay, kita record sales return. So you have only one transaction. So at the end of the month, you must close sales return. And we find out that debit side is greater than the credit side. So the missing figure ialah balance carry forward. The amount is 800. So kita carry forward to the next month. Dia akan jadi 1st of April. Balance brought forward. Baki bawa ke bawah. The total is 800. And this amount adalah debit balance. Kita record dalam trial balance. Debit column. Ingat trial balance ada dua column. Column for debit and column for credit. Kalau debit tu maknanya kita ambil yang debit balance. Kalau credit kita ambil yang credit balance. So ini account yang ke-9. Kena kira betul-betul the accounts because if you miss one account, then your answer for trial balance will not balance. The next one, this is the next account ialah account yang ke-10. 10. This is the 10 account. So purchase return, kita ada transaction relate to purchase return. Daripada mana kita dapat? From general journal. Ingat lagi debit account payable credit purchase return. So you will have only one transaction for purchase return. So we have to close the purchase return. So you can find out that the credit balance is greater than the debit balance. So ini missing figure 200. Kita tulis apa missing figure? March 31st balance carry forward. And kita bring carry forward and then we carry to the next month, 1st April, balance brought forward 200. So this amount 200 adalah credit balance. So credit balance we must record in the trial balance in the credit side. Nampak? Nampak tu saya buat ni kan? So menunjukkan ni kita kena record dalam trial balance in the credit column. Dia ada dua column, debit column and credit column. And ini account yang ke-10. Yang ke-11 ada lagi. Oh banyak kan account ni, banyak ya. So account ni kita dapat from where? From the transaction. We have make an analysis of transaction. So from there, you must know how many accounts that involve. Okay, next kita record for capital, and we got the transaction we have record in the cash receipt journal. So we have only one transaction for capital. So kalau ada only one transaction at the end of the month, you can see that the credit balance is greater the debit balance. So missing figure ni apa? Missing figure ni 100,000. Yang missing figure ni kita tulis March 31st balance carry forward, and kita carry forward to the next month 1 April balance brought forward 100,000. So kita record dalam try balance nanti in credit column. Capital memang always in credit column. Kenapa dia ada credit column dekat try balance? Sebab dia memang credit balance. Sebab dia punya credit transaction atau amount is greater than a debit amount. So di dalam try balance kita record credit column. Okay, ni account yang keberapa? 11. Kita kena kira betul-betul. Okay, the next one, account yang ke-12. Mana kita dapat account from the analysis of transaction. So details of the transaction kita dapat daripada mana? Cash payment journal. So debit, salaries, credit bank, right? So we have only one transaction under salaries expenses. So at the end of the month kita kena tutup, and we find out that the debit balance is greater than the credit balance. Kita tutup mesti sama amount. So the missing figure adalah balance carry forward. This is the missing figure. Boleh faham tak? Mula kita record yang transaction, lepas tu kita imbangkan, ambil yang besar, the greater amount is 15,900. Kita imbangkan amount kat sini, sama amount, and the missing figure ialah balance carry forward, and you must carry forward to the next month, dia jadi balance brought forward. Dan salaries expenses dia ada debit balance. And normally for expenses dia memang ada debit balance. So in the try balance kita record dekat mana? Debit column. Kenapa kita record dalam debit column? Because we have debit balance in the salaries expenses. So ni account yang keberapa? 12. Ada lagi tak? Ada. Ni account yang ke-13. Vehicle. Mana kita dapat maklumat from the transaction kita dah buat analisis, and then kita masukkan dalam journal kita record kan. So apa double entry systemnya? Debit vehicle, credit notes payable, and then you have to write down the items semua kan. Date ni. And then we have only one transaction for vehicle. So you have to close the vehicles at the end of the month. So we can find out that the debit balance of vehicle is greater than the credit balance. So this one is the missing figure. So the missing figure kita tulis apa? Balance carry forward at the end of the month. Ingat ya, ni memang at the end of the month. Kita nak close. Bila kita carry forward to the next month, dia akan jadi balance brought forward. And the amount is 50,000. So this is the amount you must record in the try balance in the debit column. Okay, normally, I repeat, as a vehicle categorized as asset. All assets account always have the debit balance. And kita record in the try balance debit column. So this is the 13th account. Account yang ke-13 lah. Okay, we have another account yang ke-14. So kita dah record all the transaction, and we have calculated that we have about 14 accounts. This is the last one. So ini pun sama. We have only one transaction, and we have record in the general journal debit vehicle credit note payable. So under notes payable account, we have only one transaction to the March 2nd of March. So the amount is 50,000. And at the end of the month, we must balance the account notes payable, and we find out that the credit side 50,000 is greater than the debit side. So kita dapati the missing figure tu adalah balance carry forward. So we must carry forward to the next month. Dia akan jadi balance brought forward. So the amount is 50,000. So this one, notes payable categorized as liability. So semua liabilities, they have the balance in the credit side. So this amount we must record in the tribalance dekat mana? Credit column. So that's all for general ledger. Now we must record in the tribalance. So this is the format of tribalance. This is the name of the company, and this is the name of statement tribalance as at 31st March 2021. So kita ada berapa account just now? Ada 14. So you can see you can write down the accounts based on the ledger you have done just now. So kalau kira memang ada 14. So just now kita dah tutup the account. So account receivable ada debit balance. So kita record in the debit column. Account payable dia ada credit balance. So kita kena record dalam credit column. So kalau kita tengok from 14 account, all the debit balance must record in the tribalance in the debit column. So debit column ni represent for debit balance. Apakah account that record under debit balance? Ni dia. Purchases debit column sebab dia ada debit balance. Cash debit balance. Bank pun ada debit balance. Sales discount debit balance. So kita kena record dalam debit column under tribalance. Sales return pun debit balance. Salaries expenses, ni salary expenses pun debit balance pada expenses lah. Okay? Vehicle pun debit balance sebab asset. So kalau kita tengok from this part, all assets and expenses are recorded in the debit column. Kenapa? Sebab they all have the balance in the debit side. Okay, kita tengok pula the credit side. So kalau credit side kita tengok normally liabilities, revenues and capital. Okay. Okay, pertama adalah account payable. This is liability. So dia ada credit balance. And sales dia adalah revenue. Dia ada credit balance. So kita kena record dalam credit column of try balance. And purchase discount kita kena record in the credit column. Lepas tu purchase this one purchase discount kan, dia revenue juga ya. Ataupun dia contra to purchase. Yang ni purchase return dia adalah contra to purchases. So kita record in the credit column. Kenapa? Sebab dia ada credit balance. Capital kita kena record in the credit column of try balance. Kenapa? Sebab we have the credit balance. And last one, we record notes payables 50,000, kita record in the credit side. At the end of the list, kita kena totalkan and we find out that the total debits 354,553 equals to the credit side, iaitu 354,000 ataupun 354,553. So it means that you can this is the evidence that show that you have done your transaction correctly. So that means your transaction ataupun your double entry system in the journal and in the general ledger you have done correctly. That's why you get the answer for tribalance debit equals to the ataupun total debits equals to the total credit. Okay. Habislah. Ada 3 orang pelajar-pelajar saya kat sini kan. Okay, bagus. Siapa, if you have any question, you can write down in the comment. Okay, saya punya penghabisan habis ya for this topic. So you can write down. You can prepare your homework based on tutorial book kan. Okay, saya baca sebelum kita habiskan, saya baca ni dulu. Izzuddin. Halo cikgu dan sahabat-sahabat saya sekalian. Okey, hello Izzuddin. Nanti kita ajak Izzuddin lah masuk dalam ni kan. Apa tu elbow cuff ni. Dia dituju pada Izzuddin. Okey. Ni dituju kepada tadi Izzuddin juga. Oh Izzuddin banyak ni aktif Izzuddin ni. Mantap Haikal. Oh ya, Haikal mantap lah. Okey lah. Okey ni apa ni madam, kalau ada dua account receivable yang bagi cash lepas tu kita nak push daripada subsidiary kepada general ledger, so kita kena totalkan amount dia. Yes. Kalau ada dua account receivable dan dua account receivable tu adalah customer 1, customer 2. What should you do? You must record dalam subsidiary ledger dulu. And then from subsidiary ledger kita record dekat control account. Control account of account receivable. Maknanya account receivable tu memang total kepada subsidiary ledger. Kalau ada 3 account receivable atau customer 3, kita kena totalkan dalam account receivable. Tapi sebelum kita totalkan dalam account receivable, kita prepare subsidiary ledger. So subsidiary ledger ada represent for the individual accounts of supplier. A customer ya. Kalau account receivable, customer. Kalau account payable, supplier. So kita kena prepare subsidiary ledger dulu. Tapi kalau tak prepare pun boleh juga. Kita terus record tapi dia represent for total. Betul lah tu. Yes, betul Amir. Okay, habis. 6 kita pukul 4. Jadi saya setakat ini saja untuk general ledger dan juga prepare the trial balance. So kita tutup kita punya kelas today. Jangan menjemput saudara Haikal baca penutupan. Baca Haikal. Bacalah wal as ke apa kan. Pelajar baru. Buka mic.
Hello.
Ya. Yeah. Okey, boleh dengar?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal as innal insana lafi usrin illal ladzina amanu wa amilus solihat tawasaw bis wa tawasaw bis. Amin.
Okey, terima kasih Haikal. Terima kasih kepada Takif dan juga Chin. So, kita dah pun habis ni. Jadi, bye kepada semua pelajar-pelajar semua. Okey, bye. Assalamualaikum.